You ever notice how a man looks at you when he knows he did better than expected? Not better than you, better than his track record. I'm 40 and I'm dating a 60-year-old man. And let me tell you something. I love the way he looks at me. Like he knows he got lucky and he's not arguing with it. Like I'm the upgrade he didn't even know was available. Yes, he looks at me like I walked in and raised his property value. Like he's grateful, but also slightly impressed with himself. My 60-year-old boyfriend looks at me like I'm proof he still has excellent taste. He looks at me like I just confirmed his confidence wasn't delusional. And that's when I realized I'm not just his girlfriend, I'm his sequel. And this one tested way better. A 60-year-old man understands one big thing that other people don't realize. When he's dating a 40-year-old woman, his friends and family might say, "Are you sure she isn't a gold digger?" What he understands at 60, that they all fail to see, that I am the gold.
He looks at me like I showed up right before the credits rolled, like I'm a limited time offer that accidentally renewed.
He behaves like he won something and doesn't want to alert the other players.
He looks at me like he's trying to memorize my face for backup purposes. He acts like I might disappear if he blinks too long. He behaves like I'm a fragile heirloom that talks back. If I get up to grab my phone, he watches me walk across the room like I might glitch out. And when I tell him I love him, he exhales like he just passed a kidney stone. It's not pressure, it's appreciation with urgency. He looks at me like I arrived right before the market closed. He behaves like he negotiated something and somehow won. He looks at me like he's trying to remember how he pulled this off. When I say, "I'll be right back," he nods, but tracks my exit like airport security. He watched with the energy of a man who knows he didn't fumble the last quarter. And I'm not saying I lean into it, but I do walk a little slower when he's watching. He behaves like he's securing a long-term investment with emotional dividends. And honestly, I do enjoy it. If you want to be like my 60-year-old man, here's how you do it. He looks at me like he's grateful, not entitled. Start there. Now listen, if you're 60 and you're taking notes, this is your moment. He acts like he's already lived enough to relax. Confidence is quiet, not loud. Stop trying to be 30. He looks at me like he values his time and mine. That's grown man energy. Don't get excited. This isn't a workshop. I charge big consulting fees. And trust me, the invoice is emotional. I'm not building a retirement curriculum. I'm not here to prepare you for me. And relax. I'm not mentoring. I'm marketing. This is a limited release situation. So take notes if you want, but remember something. I'm the prize, not the syllabus. Dating him feels like I joined a relationship that already had a user manual. Oh yes, feels like I skipped the drama and went straight to maintenance. If I say, "Let's do something crazy," he says, "Define crazy," and then he needs 48 hours, comfortable shoes, and a confirmed parking situation.
His idea of sexy is being really responsible. His idea of taking risks is switching doctors.
I don't worry about him cheating. I worry about him remembering where he put his glasses. I don't worry about competition. I worry about consistency.
Dating him feels like stability with a backstory. And his backstory has a lot of twists and turns and dead ends.
Dating him feels like loving someone who already made peace with parts of himself I'm still fighting. Dating him feels like I'm reading the final draft. He's already accepted the edits, and he has no damn interest in another rewrite. His idea of long-term sounds different when he says it. His idea of the future is comfort. Mine still has ambition in it. I don't worry about him cheating. I worry about him remembering where he put his glasses. I don't worry about competition. I worry about consistency. I don't compete with women. I compete with history. Dating him feels like security with an expiration date. Sometimes I look at him and realize I'm not afraid of losing him. I'm afraid of outgrowing him. Dating him is like buying vintage. Looks valuable, but the warranty expired in 2009. I don't stalk his exes. I study them like historical documents. Every argument feels sponsored by unresolved childhood trauma. He says he wants peace. What he means is silence. I'm not jealous. I'm just competing with nostalgia. I don't compete with women. I compete with history. Dating him feels like security with an expiration date.
He thinks he's the leader. I let him think that. It keeps everything moving smoothly.
He thinks he's in charge. I let him think that. I just adjust the steering. He thinks he runs the house. I let him think that. I run the narrative. He doesn't raise his voice. He lowers expectations. He says he's grounded. No way in hell. He doesn't dominate. He delegates. He doesn't control the relationship. He maintains access. He thinks he's the captain. I let him hold the wheel. I own the map. He thinks he chose me. It's important for morale. He says he's patient. No, he's strategic. He thinks he protects me. I let him think that I'm the one protecting his ego. He calls it experience. I call it emotional mileage. He calls it being realistic. I call it lowering the ceiling. He calls it peace. I call it surrender with good lighting. When he says I've been through a lot, it sounds like a disclaimer. When he says I just want something easy, it sounds like fatigue. When he says I don't play games, it sounds like he already lost a few. I realized I'm not dating a risk taker. I'm dating a risk manager. I realized I'm not dating a man chasing dreams. I'm dating a man protecting what's left. He looks at me like he knows this wasn't guaranteed. And he's not entitled to me, he's fortunate. He's grateful and aware. I could have chosen chaos, but chose him. That's the truth. I didn't pick him because he's older. I picked him because he's finished pretending. And don't get it confused. I am not his redemption arc. He's my retirement plan.